Hello folks, here we are, Tim Tunnicliffe on the Great Rugger Run at Trowbridge Rugby Club. Been a lovely morning's walk, sadly, along the Bradford and Avon Canal, but that was really beautiful and a nice route. Stunning playing surface here at Trowbridge. We just had the heavy roller out there a minute ago, making sure that there's a nice even bounce and no unfair dismissals. I'm going to head on through the clubhouse now. And go and find some nice folks from Trowbridge to go and talk to. We're going to head straight to the office for a really strong Wi-Fi signal, but it's a beautiful modern clubhouse here, and we'll find out a little bit more about that now with Stuart. Stuart, how are you doing?
Hi there, all right.
What's your full name and what's your role here at the club?
My name's Stuart Howard. I'm bar manager for Trowbridge Rugby Club. Been involved with working for the club since 2004. So a fair few years now, but playing wise, mid-80s I started joining playing for the club. So yeah,
that's a long time. That's a long time with one club. Yeah. And what was your position and which teams did you
second
play?
row generally. So yeah, my claim to fame was like I played for the first team and we had to stay in Dorset Milks 1, or we had to win to stay in Dorset Milks 1, which we duly did. So that was a good day.
Yeah,
so,
those relegation battles drive a certain kind of emotion, don't they?
Yeah,
it's almost like a frenzy in those games. Can you describe a bit more about it, what it was like?
Oh, blimey. We're talking a good few years now, but yeah, there was a fair few guys who still come up here and have a few drinks, and that I played with back then. So, but it was quite emotional, really, because, like I said, the team we beat as well hadn't lost a game all season.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, so wow. That made it more important. And it's a local side, Weymouth, which wasn't not too far away. But yeah, it was a damn good day, and a few beers were drank probably afterwards.
Just going to say, tell me a little bit about the celebrations. Can you remember?
I can't, no. I just know we went into the club afterwards and had a fair few beers, I'm sure. But yeah, it was a good day.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, was that at the old ground?
It was, yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the transition from the old ground to this wonderful new facility that you've got here.
We sold our old site at Green Lane, and it took a good number of, probably 10 years, because of the economical crash that we had back in 2008. It just prolonged the sell of Green Lane to moving up here. But yeah, with the management guy from our treasurer and chairman and president at the time, it got through, the sale got through. Developers who bought our land then built our new site, which is Ashford Homes, and they just kept adding bits, and our treasurer was worried and said, well, we can't do that, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. Don't worry about that, don't worry about that. And they just kept adding things on and
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And,
normally it's the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah. They normally can't do that, you can't afford that, you're not paid for that. But this is the other way around, and they really supportive to us, and it helped that their project manager was a member of the club and his son played here as well, so that certainly helped.
I'm sure. Now, we had a nice little look around the clubhouse earlier. We can't sadly go and look at that on the video at the moment because the Wi-Fi signal's not strong enough out the back there. But there was a great photo from the club when you went to Twickenham in 2013.
Yeah.
Would you like to just say a little bit about that?
We, in the year that we left our old site at Green Lane, we packed everything away, put it in containers, what we wanted to keep. The playing wise was at the local school, John O'Gaunt's. We just had all our kit in the back of a van, and we took it out on training nights, and off we went training. And the new build here was got like 3 or 4 week delay. During construction, there was a shutdown for about 3 or 4 weeks. Health and safety got involved. There's a guy that it arced across. He basically died. He arced across some power lines from RSJs being installed, and 12,000 folks went through his body and fried him. Yeah. But he's alive, and so he's carried on. He's been up here a few times, so it's a good thing. But through construction, we the following year, we ended up playing at Twickenham, basically, and we had a successful year. We lost one game that year. It's the Intermediate Cup, which is level 6 rugby. We beat a southwest side at Ivy Bridge, who have now gone into national leagues. Semi-final at Guildford, which was a fantastic day. And then off to Twickenham the following week. 13, 14 coaches out in the car park. Fantastic day. I mean, the RFU looked after us tremendously. You know, everybody that could eat went in their restaurants and in there afterwards the game, and yeah, fantastic day.
Good stuff. So 13, 14 coaches, is that like the whole of Trowbridge basically? Or
Probably.
Is it?
It was probably about 2,500, 3,000 people went up our guests from the Trowbridge area, and yeah, it was a really, really fantastic day.
And there's a family connection as well with the team.
Family connection as well, yeah. My son Matthew, who was captain on the day, and he had been captain for 3 years previous. Got roped into being captain for his third year at the new build. Oh, Matt, you know, we've just come to a new club, be captain. Oh, right, okay, he says, and wow, you know, ended up at Twickenham, and he's got a poster to prove it in his bathroom at home. So every time his wife sits on the toilet, then there's him sat in front of him holding the cup. So fantastic. Yeah.
Good stuff. Now, a couple of other things that we saw on the wall in there as well. You got a couple of signed shirts, in particular the one from Dolly Weir.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear the story around that.
Yeah, Dolly came here a few years ago for our sportsman's dinner. He, life and soul, I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better speaker. He was fantastic. He was behind the bar pouring drinks. There was a couple of guys doing charity fundraising events, and his person at the end of the night, he was, here's 50 quid, here's 50 quid, and buying everybody who was left here at about midnight, buying them all a drink. And funny thing was, my daughter, she had a brand new, she bought herself a car, a new Mini, and Dolly Weir, probably taller than I'm 6'5", and Dolly Weir's up here on me, and managed to get into her car, and she took him down to the local Premier Inn for the night, and for his local taxi, if you like. So and he was another 20 quid sort of thing, and he's fantastic man. Yeah, and sad to see where he is at the moment, but wish him the best, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You know. Let's just take a little look at some of the stats you got here. So that's the playing shirt, is it?
Yeah, it's a new playing shirt. We're going through a new style of shirt. We're going back to the old shirts that used to be the hoop shirts. These are just two examples. A lot different to the heavy duty cotton that used to be around it back in the day.
Yeah. When
I was playing, but they're going for all this modern material now, don't they? So makes them a lot lighter and a lot easier to clean as well. So
good modern material, but a classic kind of design.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that. Nice colours, nice shirt.
Yeah, it's good.
Good stuff.
Good.
Okay, let's bring Roy in. Roy, do you want to come in?
Yes.
Good man. Roy, what's your full name and what do you do here at
basically,
Trowbridge?
Roy Hewitt. I'm part of the senior coaching staff and basically general maintenance board to help out. I'm always willing to help out in any way I can. Played for the club through the senior level. Last year was, for a number of years, Colts coach as well. Moved on and stepped up to the seniors to broaden my horizons a bit and see out here if I can coach adults. But no, basically, love, part of the club. Been there for a number of years.
How did you first get involved here?
Basically, moved. My father was in the forces. Moved to the local area. Initially played for a different local club, and then liked what I saw at Trowbridge, and made a transition across. First of all, it was quite difficult being opposition derby player and fighting other people on the pitch sort of thing against them. But it was made welcome, and I've stayed here ever since.
Yeah, good stuff. So what have you been doing here today?
Basically just helping out, doing some of the cleaning in the changing rooms, basically to help out with COVID sort of side of it. We're trying to cut down on a little bit of expenditure we've spent to save a bit of money, so the club has asked for a little bit of more volunteers.
Yeah.
So basically, where I do my shifts, I come up and help when I'm not working.
Good man. Good to hear. And how many volunteers do you have here at Trowbridge?
If every coach from the senior level down to minis is volunteer. We don't particularly have a paid coach. The senior coach has decided this year, for a number of years, to spread his costs out amongst us all. What, you know, gives us a bit of a boost to help us out. Yeah, and then we have a number of volunteers like the groundsman, you know, a number of other little volunteers do things as well, you know, help out car parking, things like that. So it's quite a volunteer club, and yeah, it's brought us together. Well, now we're here, because when we were around Green Lane, the seniors at Green Lane, the juniors were at the local school, and now it's just brought us all together. It was great facilities we've got. You can't ask for anything else.
No.
So basically,
was there any resistance moving from the old club to the new club?
there was a little bit of resistance being a sort of out of town a little bit, but it's, you know, we get used to it, we grow, but we still, you know, loads of people still go into town after the place closes. It hasn't really changed at all.
Yeah, good stuff. Except for the fact you've got beautiful playing surfaces out there. What's it like to play out there?
There's state-of-the-art facilities. You can't, you know, I would say that we're one of the best in the West I've played at, especially, you know, in an era where everybody's going to the artificial pitches. That's like playing on just a bowling green out there. It is absolutely, you know, you can't fault the groundsman. He knows his stuff.
I've just seen him going around on his little tractor.
Yeah, he's happy. He's happy on that. It really is happy. He's whistling away, and that's Dobby for you. But no, yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, we've got everything we need.
Yeah.
And
and what about like the social side of the club? How's that at the moment?
The social, yeah, we just come away from having our annual captain's night. Really well supported. We did struggle at one time where, you know, the first team, second team all didn't particularly mix. Now we're trying to get that together. Yeah. And that is now coming on board.
That's a big challenge, that, isn't it? It can be.
Yeah. And then now we're trying to work together, that the juniors and the seniors come together and support the club as well. So yeah, it's all transition, and all good transition, to be honest. It really is.
Good stuff. Fellas, is there anything else you want to add?
That's brilliant.
No, I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
I
Thanks
think
for
we
your
covered a lot, so that's good.
Yeah,
It is.
okay.
Yeah.
Roy,
Thank you.
Stuart, thank you very much.
Thanks for your time. Enjoy your running.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I'm going to be heading out. Hang on, still talking. I'm going to be heading out now on the way to Westbury. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, Westbury, for the rest of this day on the Great Rugger Run. Another 7 or 8 miles, I think it is, something like that. So thank you for watching. As always, please share if you can. It really helps the reach and finding more people to help people in the rugby community with their mental health. So thank you very much, and I'll see you down the road on the Great Rugger Run.